Hello everyone, this is Rick Grantham of Small Business Champion Bundle coming to you from our offices here in sunny Florida. Today I want to walk you through an invoice template, a very simple invoice template. So first off, a question for you. Have you ever encountered a situation where a client has delayed payments due to some sort of a discrepancy they have with your invoice? If the answer is yes, and certainly that's happened with me, then it's high time that you use an invoice that's easy to understand and that it has all of the necessary elements that are required by your clients. So, first off, what is an invoice? Well, basically an invoice is a commercial document that all service providers send to their clients that outline all of the information around the services or the products that are rendered. Now, a typical invoice will contain things such as the name of your company, the contact information, so all of the ways that your customer would be able to contact you, specifically in reference to how to get payments to you and how to ensure that the products are there. It'll usually also include an invoice number, any of the sort of issue dates or anything like that, a description of the services or the products that are rendered, the amount due, and here's a very important piece of that, any of the payment type of information. So what are your payment deadlines? Are you net 30 or anything like that? So what is the structure that you have in place around when payments are due and any sort of discounts that might be received if a payment is received within a certain date? Also, any sort of payment types that you may receive. Is this online payment types, credit cards? Do you accept checks? And all of the ways to be able to get those payment modes to you. So, in the next part of the tutorial, we're going to pull up an actual basic invoice. We're going to show you how to input your own products and your own services and to not only navigate the template, but to also put in your own business information to get the most use out of it. So please stay tuned for the next part of the tutorial. Thank you. Hello everyone, welcome back to the template portion of the tutorial for invoices. I'm not going to walk you through a whole lot today on this front page because we've got a lot to get to today. So as you open up the main screen, first off, you will see a lot of opportunities to join the conversation, but let's get past that and get right to the invoice today, or right to the template. So first off, you'll notice that there's two tabs on the bottom, which would be a little bit different from some of the other templates that you've seen so far. Not only is there the invoice template, or the invoice tab, which we can click on right here. We can make this a little bit bigger. And you'll see there's not only opportunities to join the conversation, but you'll see that if, like in the other templates, if we clicked on highlight inputs and turn that to yes, you'll see not only do the quantities and the descriptions show up, you see description says product 5, product 7, product 3, and as you click on these, you'll see a drop-down menu appears over here on the right-hand side. So let's walk you through how to navigate this portion. First off, had you read the instructions over here, you'd see that the first place you need to go to set up this invoice is the Invoice Setup tab. So let's go there right now. The Invoice Setup tab is down here at the very bottom. So clicking on this tab sets up the entire invoice for your office staff, your administrative staff, or anyone to use. So first off, here's where you'd put in your product names or your service names along with the prices. In this case, we have product 1 through 9, but these could very well be, I don't know, let's say you sell tablecloths, and let's say that's $15. And you have napkins, and we'll say you have napkin red. And just to be able to do this quickly, I'm going to copy and paste and and we'll just change some of the names of these. Maybe this will be pink, this will be napkin blue, purple, orange, green, and black. So here's what I want you to notice though. We have different prices for all these, and you can go in and put in your own prices if you want to. These could be $15 a piece as an example. But you'll notice that there seems like there's a limitation here, right? And that this template looks like it's only set up to handle a fixed number of product names. And what I want to show you here is that you can actually add to the number of products. And the way you do that, the way you add something to your drop-down list, is to come down here in the very bottom one, and we're going to type in something brand new. Let's say we're going to say what we're selling here is something called, we'll just say giraffe. Just something completely out of the blue. So when we do this, you'll notice as we hit the enter button, you'll see that the table here expanded to be able to accommodate that. And here we could type in a price, and let's say that's $99, just as an example. So in here you can go in and put in all of your products. You can go all the way down to the bottom. Just make sure that you add to the very next row, the very first blank row that there is, so it'll continue adding and including all of that information or all of those products into the drop-down list that I'm about to show you. So now that you've put this in place, you can come over here to the invoice. And in the invoice, now that we have this highlighted, certainly you can put in your company name. We'll say Small Biz Champ as an example. And you can put in the company name, etc. You can put in who this was sold to, their name, etc. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this portion because this is that portion is sort of self-explanatory. You would have the opportunity over here to put in your invoice number, particularly if you keep track of invoices in a sequential order, invoice 1, 2, 3, etc., and the invoice date. But here's the portion of this that you can take a look at. So we do have some dummy data in here right now, which is quantities and product numbers. I'm just going to go ahead and delete this. And when I deleted that, you see the amounts over here zeroed out. So let's go ahead and put in, I want a quantity of 5 as an example. And you see the reason it's doing this at value here is because product 5 no longer exists in our product dropdown, right? Because we go over here to Invoice Setup, we replaced invoice 5 with, or product number 5 with probably napkin blue or something like that. So what that means is now we can come over here to our drop-down menu, and you'll see that napkin blue now shows up, and a unit price of 15. We may have, we'll say, let's just go ahead and highlight these and hit the delete button. And here we can say, now we're going to have 15 of, and we'll put in the brand new product that we put in that wasn't even, wasn't even available in the drop-down before, wasn't even available as a space in the product list. And that would be this area giraffe, or this product giraffe. So we'll put in giraffe, that's $99. That coincides with, on our product invoice setup, the $99 we had here. If we put in a brand new product, and we'll say this is, I don't know, elephant, as an example, and we'll say this is going to be, I don't know, $73, we'll just say $73. We can now come over to the invoice. We can hit the drop down button here, and as we scroll down here, we see now elephant shows up for us. And this could be 12. We'll say 12 elephants. 12 elephants, 15 giraffes, and 5 blue napkins. So what this does, it takes the unit prices, multiplies the unit price times the quantity, and gives you your totals. Now as you scroll down here, you can input whatever the tax rate is, and we'll say that's 7%, just as an example. Your taxes calculate and update automatically, and your amounts too. Down here at the bottom, you can put in where you want to make the checks payable to, particularly if where the check needs to be payable is different from the company name, which is in the header. So now that all of this is input, you can come back up here and put your highlight inputs to no. Let's try that again. Highlight inputs to no, which now makes this ready for printing. At this point, you can hit the print button. This is completely customizable, right? Here you're able to put in your own products, have those products automatically put into your drop-down list, and you didn't even need to know how to build the drop-down list. All this is created for you, and it's ready to go for your invoice. So this template is perfect for the small business owner, particularly as you're trying to get professional invoices and professional templates and professional forms out to your customers. So until next time, be a champion.